Hi, Anna. Welcome to the first Morning Woo Podlet, where I'm going to interview interesting people that I admire about their flow practice, about what works for them to drop into flow state, meditative healing state every day. And so I really appreciate you being here. For folks joining us, I'm Bren Seed, a licensed professional counselor, art therapist, grief therapist, and ketamine assisted psychotherapist, and guided meditation maker at this point. So, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I would like to introduce a friend of mine. This is Anna Grace, and I admire her perspective, her wisdom, her creativity, her engagement with life, and I'm always bugging her to share her ideas and her wisdom with the broader world and not just waste it on only me. So here we are. Thanks for joining me, Anna.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm honored.
Maybe you could tell me to begin with a little bit about yourself, about your work in the world and the projects you're working on, and then I have some questions for you.
Sure. Yeah, so I have had a done many different things and had a long and winding path, but where it's brought me right now is to this intersection of the body and creativity and how um, we access healing through creativity. Specifically, my modalities are movement, and I also work with acrylics and collage and actual mixed media art materials. I'm a yoga teacher, integrative yoga teacher, and have studied somatics and dance and as well as art therapy. So my work right now is specifically with women. I have a background in holistic hormonal health support for women. And so I'm in the midst of weaving together a coaching program and a course that kind of aims to support women in tapping back into that creative space, that inner vitality for balance, for our work in the world, for our vitality. And as we've talked about many times, this often kind of converges at midlife, where it's the place that I'm at in my life, and so many of the women that I know and connected to are finding themselves at this threshold moment. So it's a very exciting time to be kind of re-envisioning what women's health looks like in a way that's much more deeply connected and centered in the body and the body's innate intelligence.
Mhm. And you did a program, you have some training on the health and wellness side that informs your work as well. Is that right?
Yes, I am certified as a women's hormonal health coach, and within that framework, we studied herbal medicine for hormonal health as well as somatic nervous system support. I've studied homeopathy, and in my own health journey has led me through a whole host of holistic wellness tools, which I weave in and bring in as needed per situation. We have so many tools at our disposal, and we actually live in um, a time that there's no shortage of information. And so my work kind of less centers on the protocols and remedies so much as trying to guide a woman back to her inner knowing and her body's inner wisdom. And then from there, being able to pull the different tools that might be supportive to her.
Yeah, that's what I really like about your approach. It's not protocols, it's not something that requires buying a ton of supplements, and it's not an approach to health where you're looking externally for some answer outside of yourself. Because there's a million answers and they often contradict each other. It can be really confusing out there when it comes to.
Absolutely. Yes, and I think that so much of women's health, like we've come so far in terms of our mainstream and holistic perspectives on a woman's body, and yet so much of the information and marketing and campaign is aimed at a woman, disembodying a woman from that wisdom. The messaging is you can't trust your body or your body is broken. You know, you hit this menopausal transition and it feels like things are haywire and you're just pummeled from every side. Both the pharmaceutical industry as well as the holistic wellness space of things to fix you, things that your body needs to tap back into that vitality when actually I believe that your your body has this innate intelligence, and one symptom for one woman might mean she needs some support temporarily, maybe to help her through that hormonal transition. And there's no right or wrong, right? Like there's no right or wrong choice. It's coming back to that sovereignty. So you're making that decision from that space of learning how to communicate and read what the body is trying to tell you because it's always speaking with precision. But many of us have been cut off from that, or don't trust that, or don't feel safe to hear that, or there's a lot of noise in the way. There's a lot of messaging and narrative and story and fear. And I believe that we're at a threshold moment as women right now, as well as collectively. And this coming back to the body and coming back to healing that connection changes the entire landscape moving forward. Because this is our connection to Earth. So our connection to the body mirrors our connection to the Earth. I could talk about this at length, as you know. I'm very
Yes, I love
passionate about
listening
it.
to you talk
So
about it.
yeah, I do. I feel like my work might be the antithesis of the majority of messaging around women's health and holistic health right now
Hmm.
on the internet. And so it's not a space to just get protocols. You can ask ChatGPT, you can put in your symptoms, and you have a plethora of options available to you, and they're all valid. 100% support any woman to take whatever route that she feels is needed for her health. That's what sovereignty is you get to choose. But the connection is the most important part, that we're making decisions and moving from that place of inner knowing and deep trust that the body does have a design. It does know how to heal. It does know how to rebalance. Um, and there's such a joy in reestablishing and healing that connection with our innate sense of wisdom, especially as women who are moving into our our I don't even want to say golden years, but like let's
Hmm.
say the best part of our lives, the most liberated part of our lives, the times that the years where we might have the most to give back actually in terms of leading and guiding um, a collective at this point that has been kind of lost its connection with nature, with the earth, right? And here we have this women on the forefront whose bodies are speaking louder and louder and louder and saying this, this way of living, this that's domination and extraction no longer can continue. It starts with the body,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And women radically coming home to that.
Hmm. Yeah, I love it. And it's subtle, and I think sometimes we don't recognize it, but just the culture and the language around even clients that I have who have autoimmune issues, they're being told that their body is turned against them. Their body has become their enemy. Mental health, people feel embattled internally against depression, anxiety. These are negative symptoms. And at their core, all of them, I believe, are our body and our spirits and our minds telling us, trying to take care of us, trying to find wholeness. They just have gotten off track sometimes. So It's a whole different feeling to feel like, okay, my body's doing this thing that is not ideal, but it's got good intentions, and there's some shifting I can do to have to be more aligned versus my body's attacking me.
Right. It really takes some radical responsibility. And we kind of have this idea that a healthy, vital body is a pain-free body, is discomfort-free body. And being in a human body is not pain-free, it's not discomfort-free. And, going back to this women at midlife, just like adolescence is uncomfortable, menopause is uncomfortable, that doesn't mean that we don't try to alleviate suffering whenever possible. But also, nature doesn't make mistakes. We have a lot of things that have hijacked and subverted the natural way of being with the land, in community, with our food, all of those things. It's tough. It's a lot to weed through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but but yeah, I just want to like point us back to that. The point is not to alleviate discomfort, is to use that as potentially, if someone's willing, a doorway into a deeper and more free and more joyful, vital relationship with self, with body, and with life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, love it. Well, Anna, the idea with this little mini podcast style interview that I'm hoping to do with folks is I am curious about what you find you're drawn to again and again, or what works and fits into your life. And it might be a variety of things that you turn to help you connect internally with your body, with the broader whole, to access that quiet, the connection, um, that flow state. Because I just, after 20 years of doing this therapy work and encouraging people to meditate, or even encouraging myself to meditate, if it becomes a homework, if it's a to-do, if we're not drawn to it and magnetized to it, we don't do it. We rebel. So what I'm excited about is hearing what works for people. So tell me about that.
Yeah, well, just a note on that, our traditional meditation practice, which has been so profound for so many people, and at times in my life, and at times still in my life, it also is this very disconnected from the body a lot of times. A lot of times it's mental, right? We're holding the body very still. We're trying to transcend body to go up here, right? And actually that is can be another form of disembodiment when it's forced. There's a place for discipline always with all practices, but I think that there are many different ways, as you talk about, of accessing that. So besides seated traditional meditation, moving meditation, whether through yoga or somatic work or dance, has definitely been my biggest doorway in that, and art, dropping into creative flow with art materials, pen and paper, um, and and dropping below the surface of that linear, rational, constructed world into that space where the boundaries get wavery, or the boundaries get more permeable and flexible. And really, the way into that is sensation, whether you've got a piece of paper and some paint, or you're tapping into the way your body wants to move. You're not thinking about the outcome, perspectives that you might not have had before. Did we freeze again?
We did, but just keep going.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So movement, dance, getting outside in nature, always being outside, walking. Anytime I'm walking outside in the woods, that drops me in. And then when I can sit down with some art supplies and really just let myself go, I have some different practices for doing that, but letting go of what and letting whatever wants to arise to the surface. And when we do that, then we can have these profound insights and shifts that we don't even need to analyze or, um, put into a box, but it's something that happens really on this deeper somatic level that can have profound shifts as we move forward, whether it's changing our emotional state or allowing something to move in the body.
I want to also mention your writing and poetry. What I really enjoy about your art is that it doesn't generally stick to one lane. I love the videos you make. There are these short little videos with your poetry, your voice, and it'll have the words at the bottom, but it'll be a video of your time in nature and that union of the poetry, the visual, nature is so lovely. Tell me, okay, hold on a second. I think we should pause
Okay.
because I'm going to ask you about, like what you're working on and where to find you.
For me, it's been words, it's been writing, it's been making art, it's been movement. And I consider that all my art. And everyone has that reservoir. And it comes from that deep channel of like, oh, there's something sparkly here. There's something alive here that inspires me or that makes me curious. And then following that thread to see what you can create with it. And sometimes, a lot of times, what I've created is for me. It's just for me. It's just something that wants to be created.
Mhm.
So that has always been exciting about the container of our friendship and you and watching you and how you work is just that what is alive right now, what wants to be explored, what wants to be expressed. And I feel that that's so, so vital in work with women and reconnecting women to that channel can be expressed so many different ways throughout a course of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Which is the antidote to the should, and I should do this daily. I should exercise. I should meditate. Because
Yeah.
that is a completely different energy than I can't wait to. I can't wait to have that time. Um, and that makes me want to ask you, because this is what I'm curious about with so many people, is making that time. You're a single mom, you're busy, hardworking. Um, what helps you make that a priority or carve out that time? Or I guess also what's hard about it.
Mhm. Well, I'll be very honest about it. It's taken me coming to rock bottom to come back to that medicine. It's been an act of self-preservation over and over again. It's been grief, it's been heartbreak, it's been physical pain, it's been depression. And I feel like I'm finally at this point in my life understanding like, oh, like I don't know if I can cuss on here, but
Go
like,
ahead.
holy shit, this is the medicine. Like, you hold the medicine, woman. Like, it's in you. It keeps knocking, it keeps calling you, it keeps like, ushering you towards it. And you keep saying, oh, but I don't have time. Oh, that's not going to make money. Or that's not like productive. Or I have this to do and this to do and this to do. And like, there it is. It's being offered to you.
Mhm.
And sometimes, a lot of times, whether it's someone that's dealing with chronic illness for years and years or whatever challenging situation, it takes coming to that breaking point to realize, oh, this is no longer not an option to feed myself this because it is actual life force. Like it is actual vitality. This is the antidote to exactly what you said, which is all of these things to fix my internal state or my physical state. Your body is offering it to you. And sometimes it's the most terrifying thing to choose that over the thing that you're told is going to better the situation or make you more money or whatever. It's an ongoing daily process for me. It is not something that I've mastered, but it's something I feel like I've um, come to a point in my life where I cannot afford not to be devoted to that. And it is fuel, like it is the thing that feeds the soul and the thing that awakens more and more potential to create vitality.
Mm-hmm.
Just as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well said. And so that leads me to the importance of friendship and collaboration and connection and supporting one another, and that's actually part of what you're working on and the projects you're working on. You are available for individual health coaching, um, and but I'm curious if you could tell us about what you're working on along the lines of women's circles and um, that sort of thing, what you're offering.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's so much value in working one-on-one and having an intimate container for doing really deep dives. And definitely I love doing that work. And there's a really specific and potent magic that comes together when you get a circle, a group, a cohort of women that share the same intention. There's a medicine there and a potency there that can't be found in one person, one therapist, one practitioner. And so my vision is to create. Um, I'm working on a course that will be like a 12-week course with a cohort of women, and that'll be online and available to anyone from any area geographically. But I would also locally love to start creating containers for movement to explore that body connection, weaving in dance and yoga and breath work and meditation, but through that somatic lens, through that sensory experience, as well as art workshops. So I have this creative process I've used with myself for many years, which is a way to tap into that subconscious wisdom using the vehicle of art. And that's something that I would love to share as a tool in a group setting as well. And then I have collaborative projects going on with you and other women that we know that really, really honor this vision of this web of reaching out to other women in the same space, coming to their same realizations and creating kind of a web of support as we move through this threshold moment, really, in our collective timeline.
Mhm.
And through
Yeah,
play, through
making it
pleasure, through
fun.
creativity, through fun. Right,
Mhm.
right.
Humor, laughter,
Yes.
silliness.
Yeah.
Great. Well, can you let folks know how to find you, how to both find how to work with you, what you're up to, but also see your artwork, access those poetry videos, see some of your paintings and mandalas, and where are you in the World Wide Web?
Well, right now I'm at yoursovereignbody.com. You can read about my mentorship. You can see my art there. The course will be available shortly within the next few months, I'm hoping, and you can sign up for my newsletter there. So you'd be informed of anything else that's coming up, including events. So there is a page there for local events if you're in the Charlottesville area. I am on Instagram. I'm tentatively on Instagram and Facebook right now. Instagram is just, as Bren mentioned, my poetry videos, a little bit of my art. I will be populating that more as I promote more of my women's wellness work. So you can find me there. Facebook. Yes. Email. I mean, you can put down my email in the description of this video because, yeah, my time, I have a fraught relationship with the screen and with this online game, but I want people to be able to reach me. So good old-fashioned email is great as well.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, I really appreciate you jumping on the Zoom with me and being my first interviewee. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to all your projects and our collaborations. I
Yeah, same.
encourage people to reach out to you.
Absolutely. And I'm so excited about Morning Woo and what you're doing and this collective, this space for us to drop into that together and explore and have more and more interesting conversations and connections with people who are finding their own way in. So, thank you so much for having me. I'm
Yeah,
excited to be along for the ride.
cool. All right. Well, I'm going to put some information somewhere to be seen about how to reach Anna. And if you haven't already, you can also go to my website, ebandflow.com, and sign up for the newsletter. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, Anna.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.